Page 15, Robin Redbreast. Here we're just using everything we've used so far, pretty much. It looks kind of ugly, but again, it's a matter of just getting into it and building it up one thing at a time, and we'll work it out. In my opinion, you really need to get this Robin Redbreast pretty well before you go on. Things are going to start getting even more involved here. John Thompson series tends to advance fairly quickly. So let's get this. And if you need to, if you don't have a teacher or anyone helping you, this piece, once you get this piece, pretty much is a good time to go back to the beginning and review everything again. Play through everything again. Watch the lessons again. You'll have forgotten stuff or missed stuff or whatever. It's important you really have it all. So let's talk this Robin thing and see what happens. It's 3 lines long, treble and bass clef. 3/4 times, so we're only counting to 3, we're still counting quarter notes, and it's got 1 flat in the key signature, so we're in the key of F major. All the B's are going to be automatically played as B flats, and we do have some B's in here. Start with the right hand. Now, you only have 2 beats in the first measure, so it's a pickup measure. So there needs to be another beat somewhere else. If you look at the very end, the last measure has 1 beat in it, so that's beat 1. Beats 2 and 3 at the top. We're coming in on beat 2. Right hand first. Make sure we get that. So it's a little tricky. I'm going to do the hands one at a time first. So the right hand starts here. Remember the B flat? So that's the hand position. It's not this. It's this. And you're not moving around here. Really, the thumb is the only finger number you need. So you can cross out all these other finger numbers for the right hand. You don't need them. I need you to read the notes, not finger numbers. And if you have to, forget the rhythm right now. Just concentrate on the notes. And if you don't know the names of these notes, you really need to start the book again. And drill yourself. Just say it and play it. F, G, A, C, A, G, C, A, F. Just drill yourself on these. Take your time with it. With the counting, it's 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, and. We got eighth notes. 1 and, 2 and, 3 and. If it'll help you, start counting ands at the beginning. 2 and, 3 and, 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 1 and, 2 and, 3 and. If that'll help. I'm lazy, so I only do the ands when I need to. So I go 2, 3 and, 1 and, 2 and, 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 1. And that's pretty much it until you get to the last line. For the right hand, starting at the last line, you're here 1 and, 2 and. Now you have an A flat. Just use the third finger, just come down. And then going on is 3 and. And it's an A natural in the next measure because the flat's only good for that measure. So again, starting at the beginning of the line, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. So it gets a little tricky there with the A flat. And the left hand, well again, the left hand isn't really moving around either, so all you need is the first finger number in here, because that puts your hand in this position. Remember the B flat? It's in the key signature. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, rest. This fun? And then the last 2 measures of the second line. Now you got to come up 1. You got 2 beats of rest to come up 1. Here you do need this finger number, this 1, because you moved. Here, 1, 2, and then C sharp. And because we're already using second finger, then we're going to use third finger on the C. Otherwise, we would use second finger on the C. But we're using it here, so now we've got to use third. So again, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, third finger, 2, and now fourth. It throws our hand position off slightly, but sometimes that happens, and we just go along with it. And then you can come back down during the rest to your original hand position. 2, 3, 2, 3. So put the hands together. Now when you first put the hands together, again, you might hesitate all over the place. It's not important. We want to know which fingers in the hands are playing at the same time. So here, these are together. Both have a rest. 2. And then here. Rest. And then here. 2. Again. Rest. Rest. 2. And then going on. This is the second line, like the fourth measure over, so with the left hand rests. During the rest, while the right hand is playing this, you move your left hand up 1. So you're ready. And now these are got a half notes in the left hand. 2. Rest, and during the rest, you come bring the left hand back down. So it's a little tricky. So you work the hands together and then go over it a few hundred times and get rid of the hesitations. If you're hesitating somewhere, work on that spot so it is a steady beat. Slow is fine, but it has to be a steady beat. And when you feel you're ready, then you can think about the articulation. Well, this is going to be interesting. If there's nothing marked, I suggest you just connect the notes. Like at the beginning, there's nothing here. There's no slur or anything. Just connect all this together. So you have a 2-note slur. Well, connect it. Connect that. Like it's one big slur. Just lift up on the last note. Because you're already down. I'm not going to go up and down here. I don't recommend it. Just connect them and come up on the 8th note. There. And connect this. It's more like a 3-note slur. And again, for the articulation. In the left hand, while you got that mess going on, there's staccatos. Hinge, short staccato. I'm on the key and I'm just bouncing off. While you're connecting the right hand, see, that feels weird at first, but work on that. Just short here and connect that. You get the idea? It feels weird, but it's good practice. At the end of the second line, last 2 measures on the left hand, connect these half. So it's rest. And the fermata there, remember what have we had fermatas? I think we've had fermatas. It's a hold. Just it's a staccato, so you're not going to hold on to the note. Normally you'd hold on to the note. Hold on to it, but it's marked staccato, so you're going to get off of it. But the beat is going to last a little longer. So you're going to have a little more silence in there. And then you go on. At the end, careful that you don't lift up too soon. We need a full beat. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, off. So don't go because you lift up. Don't cut the beat short because you lift off. You're not lifting off until the beat 2. The right hand is tied, so you lift both hands at the same time. Both together. Let the wrist lead you on lifting up. Now, I do want to caution you, there's no real right or wrong here. It gets into interpretation. I just want you to be aware of it. It's like the last 2 measures of the first line. You have it in the right hand, it's an F. You hold that out to beat 2. 1, 2. You lift up on beat 2. And the left hand is staccato. It's short. So what I'm saying is don't lift the notes at the same time, because it's not a staccato in the right hand. So take the last 3 measures of the first line. It's here. See, this is staccato. Hold that out to beat 2. Rest. You get that in some other places too. Just make sure you're not lifting them at the same time, because that makes the right hand a staccato and it's not. So be careful there. The articulation here might take a while, but keep at it. You'll get it. Then the dynamics. The dynamics apply to the melody, remember, and in this case, it's the right hand. So MF is mezzo forte, medium loud, whatever you think sort of loud is. Left hand, keep it soft. And I put in the phrasing, I just do it kind of out of habit. If you listen to the melody, you can hear where the musical sentences are. And at the end of a sentence, I just lift up. It's like taking a breath. It's like at the end of the first line, that half note, that's the end of a phrase. So before I play here, I lift up. So just a little silence here. Same thing. Second line on that dotted half note tied to a quarter note, that's the end of a phrase. I lift up just a little bit so I can go on. It's like taking a breath. And on the second line, you get the matching hairpins again. So you're here, look in the middle of them, what notes are there, and it's here. Those notes, that's your target. You're going to go up to those notes and then back down. And then back down. The left hand, keep it in the background. The piano will die away on its own. And then I suggest you start kind of on the soft side because you're going to crescendo up to loud, but you got a few measures to get there. If you don't plan it out, you'll be loud by the end of the second line. And that's too soon. We don't want to be loud to the last line, second measure. So we're going to plan this out. And since there's measures involved, I can take it a measure at a time. So I'm going to start here. This is the fourth measure going into the fifth measure, the second line. The last two measures of the second line are the pickup. Here, I'm going to start kind of soft. Then I'm going to go up to sort of soft. And now sort of loud. Now loud. See, I did it like a measure at a time. I just got a little louder. And that's it. And it doesn't tell you where to start. I started on soft because I needed more time and room to get loud. You don't have to start soft. You can start wherever you feel it's right. It doesn't tell you anything other than MF at the beginning. So you kind of got to fill in the blanks here. So the crescendo, first you get a hairpin there in second line. It's the third measure from the end. You get a hairpin. You're going to go out. The hairpin and the crescendo is the same thing. There's no difference between them. Just one is a symbol and one is a word. They could have put in another hairpin there, except people can misinterpret that. So they used the word. And I'm not really crescendoing much with the hairpin, just a little bit. Up a little more, a little more. Now, there. I want that to be loud. And it's staccato with the fermata, means it's like a silence for just a moment. Give them a chance to recover. And then moderately soft. MP, mezzo piano. This is softer than you were at the beginning. The left hand's are soft. And at the end, the hairpin, well, it'll die away on its own. So in the left hand, just make sure the last note is softer than the other one. Try and match this if you can. It's kind of a neat, but it's again, you got to get into it well enough. You're comfortable with the notes and rhythms that you can feel this dynamic. Then the speed, allegretto. Well, allegretto's in between moderato, which is moderate in the middle, and allegro, which is fast. I call it the fun speed. It's the feel of it. That's my allegretto. It doesn't have to be yours. You play. If your allegretto is this, that's fine. But keep it a steady speed throughout until you get to the fermata. And really, even in a fermata, you're holding out, but people will actually hold out a certain number of beats. They won't know because they're not counting. But it's just the way we work. We think in a rhythm. We think in a beat. Now, you'll probably hold that out just a couple, 3 extra beats, and then you'll start in. And people listening, they're going to be feeling these beats. And even in the fermata, they're still going to be feeling the beat. Now, when I do it with a metronome, I have to stay with the metronome. So what I do is I just take the note and I double the value, and that's it. So I'll just add an extra beat rest in that measure, because it'll be 1, hold, rest, like that. 1, hold, rest, and then go on, so I can stay with the metronome. Let's try it together very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms and the articulation. I'm not going to do any dynamics. We're just going to play it through. And as I said, on the fermata, I'm going to just add 1 extra beat of rest in there. So let's just try. Give us 4 counts. That's a full 3 counts because it's a 3/4 time, plus 1 because we come in on beat 2. So it's 4 counts to start on this one. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest. Rest. 2. 1, 2, 3, tie. Rest, rest. 1, 2, 3, 1.